Hello everyone and welcome to a new IK video. This is Kincaid from server M14, and in this video I'm going to talk about one of the most broken skills in the game, the most popular legendary skill right now, which is Energy Mastery. I know Energy Mastery could be hard to understand at first, but it's really a very simple skill. I've got the skill at level 8 right now, probably the strongest damaging skill in the game. It increases your ultimate damage by 100% for 9 seconds. I'm gonna explain this in a second. And also, after casting your ultimate skill, immediately restores 400 energy. This is so broken. That means that whichever immortal is using the skill will just keep casting his ultimate skill, will keep spamming his ultimate skill. So an immortal like Himiko, maybe Loki, or even Apollo, in the kind of immortals that have a very high damaging skill will benefit a lot from Energy Mastery. So in my opinion, this is the strongest damaging skill in the game. I think Infinite Firepower comes right after, or maybe, I'm not sure about this, but maybe what comes right after Energy Mastery is Corrosive Power, but I still haven't unlocked Corrosive Power yet, so I need to unlock it and test it to differentiate between the two skills. However, it's still a very powerful skill. It has a lot of variety. You can use it on Mage Immortals and Ranged Immortals, so it is very powerful. Same for Corrosive Power. However, the Infinite Firepower could only be used on Mages, which is why Energy Mastery is way better. So at first, when I first purchased the skill, I thought that you need to cast the skill and then you will get the damage increase, and then when you cast the skill again, your ultimate skill will be increased, will be doubled by 100%. But that's not how the skill works at all. The skill works from the very first cast. I tried to attack a couple of gnomes here, and clearly I one-shot the gnomes from my first cast. You can see here the demon ambush, only 4 attempts for each camp on the gnomes, and we can definitely watch the replay here. And here are the buffs that Himiko has. Himiko doesn't have any kind of buffs that here it is. Damage increased, and the fight is finished. We need to watch the fight on X1. Alright, so Himiko doesn't have the damage increase buff yet, but she's about to, and now so Himiko casted the skill already, right? And she has the ultimate skill damage increase. This is the buff that you get from Energy Mastery that increases your ultimate skill damage by 100%. And since Himiko casted the skill, the damage hasn't been released yet. However, Himiko has the buff already. That means that the damage is already doubled by 100%. So if we click play again, you can see all the gnomes died from just one cast of Himiko. How to prove that the damage increase has been applied? I tried to attack the same gnome camp without using, so here I was using Energy Mastery. In this report I was using Energy Mastery, and here I was not using Energy Mastery. I removed the skill in order to test it out, and you can see the damage itself. You can see the damage that has been applied by Demon Ambush, Himiko's ultimate skill. It is only 9 million damage, right? However, on the other report, you can see the damage is 18 million damage, exactly double the damage that in the other report, which means that the damage was increased by 100%. So if we watch this, you can see that Himiko killed them all just by one cast as well. The only difference is that the rage blessing hasn't been applied to Himiko. You see this light? This is the rage blessing that increases the energy. So I got some damage from the ship before Himiko cast her skill, but it's still fine. It's still a one-shot. So this is how Energy Mastery works. You first gain the buff from the skill itself. I'm not sure, because maybe Himiko's skill is a bit slow to cast. Like Himiko casts the skill and then maybe half a second later or a second later the damage is applied. So this is maybe the reason that Himiko gets the damage buff before she actually gets to cast the skill. And I haven't really tried the skill on other immortals such as Apollo because I don't have Apollo. Maybe when I get Apollo one day, I'll try the skill on him and see if it's actually the same situation for Himiko. However, this is how the skill works. Because when I first got the skill, I was kind of worried because the skill buff runs for 9 seconds. I was worried that maybe Himiko casts the skill and then the buffs runs out before she gets to cast the skill again. That means that the skill is completely useless when it comes to the damage increase. However, I'm only gonna benefit from the energy regain speed. So I had to upgrade the skill to make sure I'm getting the most benefits from the skill, because I need to get the 400 energy in order to make sure that Himiko casts the skill one more time before the 9 seconds runs out. However, it turns out that I get the damage increase even from the very first cast. So it is kind of a very OP skill in my opinion. This is the strongest skill in the game currently, and I was planning to make a tier list for all the legendary skills, which skill is important, which skill you don't really need for certain marches or different situations. And I'm gonna work on this video very soon. I just wanted to talk about this since this is very important to keep in mind whenever you're using this skill. So this is everything regarding this subject, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and have a wonderful day.